Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Cavaliers Legends Stable from the depth of Rocket Arena in the Fred McLeod Studios. This is Michael Campanella Russell. I'm merely Rafa Hernandez-Brito. Thank you for having us, Campy. Second episode. Does that mean we made it and we're officially part of the Rock Entertainment Sports Network lineup? Because that's where we are right now.
Well, right now, you're absolutely right. We are a big part of it going forward because what we want to do is continue to bring just good, solid television to our new network. And as long as we can do that, we should be in good shape, Rafa.
For those of you that missed the maiden voyage of this beautiful thing we call Cavaliers Legends Table, we are going to be receiving visits from Cavaliers Legends, Cleveland Guardians Legends, Cleveland Legends,
yes,
as well as we do it on game days when we call and we host our Legends on Legends Corner. So that way you can meet and greet them, get pictures, get autographs, and over here in the Rock Entertainment Sports Network, you can actually get to know them a little better.
Yes.
Tonight, we have probably one of the most loved figure from Cavaliers history in Cleveland. I'm talking about my good friend, Señor Cavalier, Austin George Carr, the holder of so many records at the NCAA level, the first guy ever picked for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Campy, your good friend as well.
Oh, no question about it that he's probably one of my better friends that I can name, with the exception of some people back in Pontiac.
Okay, we'll accept that.
But for the most part, when I think of Austin Carr, I harken back to 1969, 70. Mm-hmm. And that was the time when I was still in high school, and I wanted to go see this guy that was at Notre Dame called Austin Carr. And I drove up to Ann Arbor to watch him play up in Ann Arbor, and I was so excited about it and everything. And I went up there and I saw this guy playing and scoring and doing all the things that he has the ability to do. But when I think about that trip, I think about the fact that, yes, I drove up there because I wanted to see Austin, but it was the worst snowstorm I've ever been through in my life because that's how bad I wanted to go see Austin Carr. So then, go forward. Then I ended up being drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers to have the opportunity to play with Austin Carr.
Well,
so I got a lot of different stories about Austin.
Save the stories because that's what we're here for at Cavaliers Legends Stable. Grab your favorite Surfside flavor. Remember, is iced tea,
yes,
with no bubbles and a little vodka. So, hey, get comfortable. When we come back, we are going to welcome AC Austin Carr, Señor Cavalier, right here on Cavaliers Legends Stable on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, to Cavaliers Legends Stable on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network, and we are presented by Surfside. 100 calories, remember, no bubbles, and it's sunshine in a can. And if you see me smiling and you're wondering at home, why is Rafa smiling? Why is he so smiley today? Well, our guest today puts a smile on anybody when he walks in the room, and we welcome him to Cavs Legends Stable, Mr. Cavalier himself. I call him Señor Cavalier, Austin George Carr. Hey, see, how are you, man? How's everything going?
Thanks for the George.
Yeah. Isn't that your middle name?
That's my middle name. But I haven't used that in a long time.
Only when your mom was mad, she would be like, Austin George, come here.
Every time. Every time. Yeah.
Talking to you, we have known each other for my 11 years here in Cleveland, and you made my stay in Cleveland a lot better. But you have been with the organization in some shape or form, and I don't mean to age you here, but close to a half a century.
Well, you don't have to age. I mean, it is what it is.
But what does Cleveland mean to you, AC? Because, you are from Washington, D.C.,
right?
But you are now a Clevelander. Come on, you've been here most of your life, most of your adult life.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah, Cleveland is home. I mean, a lot of people have always asked me, well, why Cleveland? I said, well, I like the people here. Mm-hmm. The one thing about the people here, you know exactly if they like you or if they don't like you. There's no middle ground. You really. When I lived in L.A. and New York, it was a lot of shady people who would pat me on the back and just stick a knife in you. So I just love it here, and I raised my family here, and I appreciate it.
You were highly recruited from coming out of high school in Washington, D.C.
Right.
And everybody knows about all the records you possess, and, Final Four is coming up. March Madness is about to start. Now March Madness is in April.
Right.
But you still possess the record for most points average during a tournament in 7 games that you play, over 50 points average per game play in a tournament. The most points ever scored, 61. And that story has been told, AC, so many times about if there was a 3-point line, AC would have scored 74.
Right.
It bothers me as your friend that nobody talks about the 2 assists you had in that game. Right? Because AC
wait. 2. He had that many?
Yeah.
Rafa. I had 4.
Oh, 4 assists. Imagine that. 4 shots he gave up. I have to review the tape to see how many shots somebody missed that you passed.
Right.
But what I wanted to ask you is to talk to us and tell us the story about that impact that Notre Dame had when you arrived there, because it had to have been something very different to what you were used to in your upbringing.
Yeah, because it's a football school. So when I went there, just like Michigan, it's football. And so I wanted to put basketball on the map there. And on top of that, too, my father wasn't going to let me go anywhere else anyway. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. But, it was different. I mean, we had, at that time, things were a little tough racial-wise. I'll never forget, we protested a game. And, I'll never forget that. They had us all in the back of the campus somewhere way back, and it was really interesting, but it actually happened, and it was really, we got booed when all 5 black players on the floor, and it was in Ebony magazine, and I was like, man, what is going on here, boy?
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, and it was quite an experience, but at the same time, they kind of gravitated to basketball. It started to become the other sport there, because football was it. But it turned out to be good, and I would do it again. I mean, I got my degree. That was my most important thing, is to get my degree, because I was the first one in my family to actually graduate from college. So that was huge in my family.
And when you talk about basketball, college basketball is obviously UCLA and John Wooden in those days.
Oh.
AC was part of the team that beat UCLA, and then they went on to win for like 3 years in a row until they lost to Notre Dame again.
Right.
But what fans want to know, and I don't know how different it was from Campy, but please tell us the story of your draft day party when it was announced on ESPN that you were drafted number 1 by the Cavs. Like how did that go? Does it look like it looks now?
Well, put it this way, it wasn't on ESPN, and it was just I was in art history class. Now I had already graduated because I had already got all my major subjects. I had already completed them. So my last semester in college, I just took all electives because I had already did what I needed to do. So, I was in art history class, and the professor came in. He says, "Well, we got a new member of the NBA with us." And I was like,
"You're looking around."
I'm looking around. I'm like, what is going on here? He says, Mr. Carr has now been picked by the Cavaliers to be an NBA player. And then we went back to class. Everything was like, that was it. Nobody gave me a suit.
Right.
Bought me a suit and gave me a plane ticket to New York and none of that stuff. It was
they
like,
didn't call you,
they didn't call me. So I ended up calling my agent when I got out of class to find out just what was going on. But that's the way it was then. Campy tell you, it was not no hoopla like they do now, where they, everybody got a brand new suit on, and they got everybody sitting down like at the cocktail tables and having all that. They don't do that. They definitely.
Parents wouldn't let you do that anyway.
Oh, that's right.
Well, we're going to take a break because we need to talk about so many things. The Miracle of Richfield, you both were part of it. And we're going to talk about this wonderful team that we have going on right now. 50 wins and 10 losses as we speak here on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network. We are Cavaliers Legend Stable. We'll be right back, presented by Surfside. welcome back, everybody, to Legends Table, Cavaliers Legends Table. We are coming to you on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network, and we are presented by Surfside, Sunshine in a Can. I recommend you use it because I know you don't like bubbles. This is 100 calories, no bubbles. That's the most important part.
Right.
So
bubbles.
we are coming to you from the Fred McLeod Studios, and I have to bring that around, AC, because among all your career as a broadcaster, you were able to work with Fred McLeod, and if we're going to talk about Cavs legends, we have to bring him.
Oh, yeah.
We are using his studios.
Yes.
The studios we're using his memory, but your experience with working with Fred and the friendship, I know you guys grew.
I mean, it was great. I mean, Fred was. I mean, he taught me a lot about the whole industry, but he was a friend too. We played a lot of golf together, and boy, sometimes he would get a little bit upset playing golf, but we would have fun. I'd have to calm him down afterwards. I'd like, come on, Fred, let's go sit down for a minute.
Among the things that he taught you, did he teach you to be calm when you were doing your work and not to take the game too seriously?
Well, when the game was on, he was live.
Yeah.
And that kind of got me that way too. So we just let it all hang out. He said, let it go. Don't hold it back.
You know how much you let it go? Back in Detroit at the old Palace, for some reason, the Spanish broadcast table was on the floor as well. Mm-hmm. And I was right behind Austin and Fred. And this is my first road trip, right? And this is the first time I'm on the road. And the game starts, the jump ball, the Pistons get the ball, they score a basket, and Fred goes, bam, like, oh my God, it's 2-0.
That's right.
And that's how I got to know how intense, how much, not only he loved the organization and the team, but how much it meant to him to be part of this family.
I mean, that was when he would do, I mean, we were in, might have been Detroit, it might have been New York. He got so upset. Boom! And everybody's stuff just jumped off the table. It was unbelievable.
Well, when I think back about Fred as well as Austin, both of those guys was high strong. Mm-hmm. Both of them was high strong. As calm as you may see Austin sometimes, he can get really high strong. I mean, to a whole different level.
Right. Yeah.
That you don't really want to be around him for a while. You have to kind of walk away from him and let him get finished. Then you say, okay, all right.
Calm down.
But I thought that was an excellent combination between Fred and Austin. I mean, they fed off of each other. Yeah. They just made it excited. And then when Austin came up with this, throw the hammer down, it just took everything to a whole different level.
Well, let's speak about that because everybody talks about AC's, throw the hammer down deep from the rock. Now it really deep from the rocket. But there are some other lines that you use that I always enjoy. And every time I do my broadcast, I always try to do. I get away a little bit with copying because I do it in Spanish so nobody knows.
Right, yeah.
But it's like, I love when you say there's a mouse in the house.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What does that mean? Tell the audience.
Well, it's obvious now because when a big guy has a smaller guy on him in the paint,
the mouse in the house.
There's always a mouse in the house.
And you have been able to watch it. You both have. We all have here 50-10 as we speak.
Yes.
Campy and AC. And what has been your take from, I mean, you played this sport. You're one of the few that have the talent to actually play in the association. But when you see it like that, at such a young age, everybody under 30 from the main corp of the team, and playing so well with a new coach, what do you think is the whole balance of it, the whole reason for it?
It's almost like, they've empowered more people to be a part of the whole thing. And it seems like that has buoyanted the whole team. Everybody contributes now. They're just like Hunter, comes right in, fits right in. Because the one thing, I have to give the front office credit too, they have done a good job of identifying not only the talent, but character guys that would fit into this situation. There's no trying to put a round peg in a square. They don't have anything like that.
Well, I think to your point, AC, I think that's been the history of this Cavalier organization, is to put together the right type of people.
Right.
And when you put the right type of people together, then that is when you have the opportunity to take everything to a whole different level because everybody is committed the right way, where there is no such thing as me. It's
Right.
about us. It's about trying to get it done on both sides of the ball. If you watch this team is really poised at this particular point to do pretty much and play any way they want to play, any
Yes.
kind of style. Whether you want to play
Right.
fast, you want to play half court,
Right.
you want to play big ball, you want to play small ball, whatever it is, this team has the ability to make those adjustments.
Yeah.
And we have two guys that were champions at Cavaliers, were roommates in college, in Ty Jerome
Right.
and Andrew Hunter. They really willed the team to a victory in the last home game here against Atlanta. And let me tell you something. I'm not a numbers guy, but the last time we became champions, the years added up to 9, 2016. And
Right.
if you add 2025, I don't know. But
Well,
it's like, and we made some big changes around that trade deadline back in
Right,
2016,
right.
And the
Rafa,
Andrew Hunter has
you
fitted
reaching
in
now.
so well.
You're finding the ways now.
Do we have it in us? I know obviously they want to win, but
Yes.
when you see everything that is going on right now in the association, especially on the east side, especially the way we just came back plus 20 against the Celtics.
Yeah.
What do you see on this team in order to get to the playoff and just because you got to go through the champions to become a champion?
What I'm getting ready to say is why that. Because regardless of what all the ribbons and all that talk, whatever is going on, we still going to have to beat the Celtics to get out of the East.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. And that's why we have to have the home court advantage. I want Game 7 here if it comes down to that. And that is something that the Celtics know they need but up until that last game, that's all they would talk about. When you hear interviews around the country, they would talk about after the game, we want to protect home court. We want our home court advantage. They understand how important it is, and I think the Cavs understand that also.
Well, AC, I think when I look at it just a little bit different. But the mentality of this basketball team and the amount of people that they can play, that all play at a high level, I think this team has the ability to go and beat anybody anywhere that they play because of just that attitude that you see that great fire, you see that great camaraderie, you see how if the starter's not going well, coach has the ability to put in the other guys, and then there's always some uplifting out there on the floor.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't matter where we play, whoever it is, whether it's on their floor or on our floor.
Bring 'em on.
This team has the ability to win basketball.
I like that. I go to break on that one because I say that. Bring him on, whoever it is. Just come and play here at Rocket Arena.
Yes.
And we'll take care of business. Best record in the NBA, best home record.
Yes.
And here we go. We're going to take another break. When we come back, pre-birthday celebration for Mr. Cavalier that is going to be Luka Doncic age. Soon, when we come back here on Rocket Entertainment Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. And here we are on Cavaliers Legend Stable. And we are joined by Mr. Austin Carr. And Austin and I share something, well, we share a lot of things, a great friendships, but him and I have been lucky enough to find a woman that has been more than just a partner in life. I think it's like the backbone of our being. And obviously, she helped me a lot into what we're going to do in this segment. I'm just going to pass this to you. Can you pass this to Austin? What is that, Austin?
Well,
What brand? What model is that?
that is it's a Oldsmobile
Toronado.
Tornado.
1971, 1970.
Yeah, about that. Around in there, yeah.
Everybody knows the story about AC scoring 61 points and then scoring all that. Tell the story about the purple Toronado that you have in front of you.
It's a classic.
What did you come up with this stuff? All right, well, yeah, back then, this was in ancient times. Back then. What they did was I negotiated a car allowance in my contract. So this was my first car. Now, when I first got the car, I mean, I had what I wanted. I parked it in front of the campus and everything, and it was like it was my baby, my first car. So I was real proud. So I packed everything up and put it in the car, and I drove home to D.C. So I get home, knock on the door. I answer the door. My mother comes to the door. She goes, "Son, welcome home." She goes, and now, mind this. It was about 12 o'clock in the day, 1 o'clock. So everybody's at work. So nobody was
parked in front of the house.
Nobody was parked in front of the house. Now, except my car. So my mother looks at the car and she goes, "Son, where's your car?" And I'm saying, "Well, wait a minute, there's only one car. There's gotta be." She looked at me and looked at that car and she said, "Son, you gonna get rid of that thing tomorrow because I did not raise a pimp."
Well, Patsy has been nice enough to bring it back. You got a pillow with a tornado.
Yeah,
you got a painting. She actually did that herself, painted it herself for you, and you got a thing. Would you ever think of getting it again, buying it again?
Oh no!
Because I looked on the internet. It's actually available.
Oh, it is.
I don't think Patsy would like it or not either.
I don't think anybody would want this one. No, that was my brainstorm, but it wasn't quite a good storm. So that was it. I went the next day. I took it to Baltimore, and I got a Mercedes. I brought it back home. My mother says, "Now you're talking."
Thank you, Austin Carr, for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Campanella
Yes,
Rosso.
sir.
We'll be back next week with another edition of Cavaliers Legends Stable right here on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network, and we're obviously presented by Surfside.